AFC Wrexham are headed home from the FA Cup in the fourth round after their replay against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. It was a particularly exciting match. They had a good opportunity to really take the match to Sheffield, to actually even take the lead at one point. But they were unable to do so, and we can see where the priorities for Wrexham really lie this year in the league table and getting that first place, securing promotion back into league football. For those of you who don't understand how it works, I'm going to be linking a video to how promotion and relegation works when it comes to professional football in England. But that's where Wrexham's priorities lie, are getting promoted back into the English Football League, into League Two, through the league, where they are currently tied level on points with Notts County with 2 games in hand. That means they played 2 less matches than Notts County, and they are level on points, and those two are running away with the league there. The third place is not even close. I think they're a good 20 points, 17 points behind Wrexham right now. So it is between Notts County and Wrexham for that first place guaranteed promotion spot. Second place goes right into the playoffs, which is why the National League is the hardest league to escape from or to get promoted from in English football. Regardless, Wrexham rotated their side heavily in this match. Phil Parkinson put out a lot of second-team players, with the exception of Paul Mullin and a few of the defenders, Tozer, Cleworth, were starting in that back line as well. And then Paul Mullin up top were kind of their only regular first teamers, as well as captain Luke Young in the midfield. Sheffield United, on the other hand, put out a very strong side. And for almost the entirety of the first half, Wrexham sat deep and defended in a low block. They were defending in a 5-3-1-1 in order to release Paul Mullin on potential counterattacks, and they did a pretty good job defending in this setup. They kind of shut Sheffield down. Part of it was that Sheffield was poor on the day. Part of it was that Wrexham were good on the day. And then the second half is where things really kicked off. Ollie McBurney was able to get a goal early on in the second half in the 54th minute. And I got to tell you, Ollie McBurney looks ready for the Premier League. He is, by non-pen, XG, and expected assists, the best forward in the championship this year who has played more than 1,000 minutes. He is creating a lot of chances and converting a lot of chances. And while he isn't the top scorer in the championship, he's not even the top scorer for Sheffield. He is creating the most opportunities that players just aren't necessarily converting, or that he's just not necessarily converting. He's going to be really good in the Premier League next year, assuming that Sheffield United do get promoted. Following this opening goal from Ollie McBurney, Paul Mullin won a penalty. A few moments later, I think it was 9 minutes later, he won a penalty, and he converted it home to make a game out of it. A few moments later, there was a second penalty opportunity after Ollie Palmer had been subbed on, and it kind of was looking to be a Phil Parkinson masterclass because he rested a lot of his important players, but almost got the win against a team that was 4 leagues higher than Wrexham, and not only that, but leading the championship, or in second place in the championship. So it looked to be a really smart, intelligent move from Phil Parkinson, resting those players. I think Paul Mullin probably should have given the penalty to Ollie Palmer. It is really hard to convert 2 penalties in the same game. That's something Kylian Mbappe did in the World Cup, and that's pretty much the level of talent you have to be to do it. Not necessarily, but you see that Harry Kane missed 2 penalties against Hugo Lloris in the World Cup. It's just something that difficult. It gets in your head. The keeper kind of he knows your spots before the match. They do research on where you like to go with your penalties, so he knows your spots, and he's just much more likely to save it from the second penalty from the same person. So in my opinion, Paul Mullin probably should have given that penalty to Ollie Palmer, and if they had converted it, that would have given Wrexham the lead over Sheffield United at Bramall Lane, which would have been really, really big. But they were unable to, and then in the 94th minute, Max Cleworth just made a dumb mistake, had miscontrolled the ball and released Billy Sharp in behind, who converted, and then a few moments later in stoppage time, Sander Berge secured the victory for Sheffield United. That means Sheffield United will be advancing into the 5th round of the FA Cup, where they will be playing Tottenham Hotspurs. I think Tottenham is used and accustomed to losing to teams in red and white, so it should be a fairly standard, straightforward win for Sheffield on that one. And then Wrexham are going home early to focus on the league campaign. And of course, Wrexham supporters will be concerned because of Paul Mullin coming off shortly after he took that second penalty. It doesn't seem to be that serious. That said, however, it looks like it was just kind of precautionary. He was just bringing him off to give him a bit of a rest. So hopefully he returns completely healthy back to league action on Saturday. The next match for Wrexham is on Saturday, where they will be taking on Wealdstone in the league at 7 a.m. early in the morning. So that'll be an exciting match for them. And hopefully they can continue their push for promotion back to league football. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Not too much to talk about today, just a pretty straightforward match. Wrexham did a really good job giving a good show of themselves. They certainly did not look like a non-league team. They certainly did not look like a National League team. They are ready for promotion. I think that there's going to be a few necessary purchases in the summer when it comes time to upgrade for league football. But we'll get to that in another video. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And if you like this and if you want more content on Wrexham, on Arsenal, on LAFC, on all sorts of different leagues and matches all around the world, please give me that like. Please give me that subscribe. It makes a huge difference for the channel. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And I will see you at the next one.